That's a false.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let's call this meeting to order. Today's Tuesday, June 11, 2024. Time is 5 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and prayer.
You could bow our heads for prayer, please. Heavenly Father, we come to you in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. We thank you for another day. Thank you for allowing us to be here. Please help us forward to make the right choices for our firefighters and the community. And we ask that we look after our firefighters, the responsibility and giving us the time we need to build the communities. Please be patient because they love one to home. We're waiting for the holy meeting. Amen.
Item number 2, establishment of a quorum. We have Commissioner Santana, Commissioner Diaz, Commissioner Avalos, Commissioner Barnes, and Commissioner Glenn present. Item number 3, public comment must notify the board to speak on certain agenda items. 5 minutes is the time limit. Public can comment by calling 915-213-3008 with the PIN code of 345-834-417 # or any person with a sign-in sheet. Item number 4, consent agenda. Commissioners, anything you'd like to pull out of consent agenda?
Nothing, sir. Motion to approve.
I have a motion by Commissioner Diaz,
Second.
second by Commissioner
Santana.
Commissioner Diaz,
Aye.
Commissioner Santana,
Aye.
Commissioner Barnes,
Aye.
Commissioner Avalos,
Aye.
Commissioner Glenn.
Aye.
Commissioner Barnes, did you say aye? Did you say aye?
Aye.
Oh. Commissioner Glenn,
Aye.
motion carries. Item number 5, regular agenda. Discuss and take appropriate action on the Clint Fire Department. By Commissioner Santana.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for showing up. And this is something that we've been working on for the past close to 3 years now. And I know you guys came on just recently, officially as officers, and we appreciate that. Every chief needs a good staff, and we hope, I'm sure you guys are that good staff, and you will pass it on down to the department. So anyway, 3 years, been trying to get people certified, been trying to get people to make runs, and make the calls, and it's been difficult, it's been slow. Finally, one of the commissioners asked, is there anything in writing that we've discussed? That nothing. So we decided to make a meeting to make this official, that we're actually discussing, the concern that we have. We do need certified firemen. We need certified firemen, and we haven't been able to produce until recently, which I'm very happy for you guys. I'm proud, and that is the one thing that we need. We need you guys to continue. There's a couple other things, but for now, we need to discuss the state of your department. We can no longer accept, give me a couple more months, or give me this time. This time there's gonna be consequences. We have to be accountable. I'll speak for myself as a commissioner. I have to be accountable. I cannot say, hey, fix it. You say, I'm gonna fix it. It doesn't get done. We don't do anything about it. That's what it's been like for 3 years, and we're here. We need, I propose that you guys produce more certifications in this upcoming class. I need to see that personally. And it's on record now. This is what I need to see. Chief, your position potentially, once we're done here, can be on the line. And, every chief, I know every chief, every officer, they have to be the bad guy. And I honestly don't believe you've been the bad guy. And everybody needs a bad guy. Even a good employee, you start slacking it, they need that bad guy to set them straight or move them out. And I really don't think you have been that guy. We also needed you to get more staff. You need an assistant chief. You need to be able to the duties, spread out the duties to each one of your officers. But let's start with that certifications. What can you tell us, Chief? What's going to be different? We have to the end of this year. What can you tell us?
Is this on? Can you hear me? There you go. So thank you guys for having me today. Thank you for having this meeting with me. Obviously, we did good information, is gonna guide us the right way, right? Right now, we are in the process of, I did have 4 individuals that did not pass their, either one section of Fire One or Fire, whether it be the hazmat awareness or the hazmat. So they're still pending that. So we're trying to push them hopefully by next month, so they can take the test, and be able to get certified and, or pass the actual Fire One certification. If that happens, then at that point we can enroll them in Firefighter 2. And then that would be another 4 guys, God willing, that we can push through Firefighter 2. Obviously, as you guys already know, we do conduct trainings, on Tuesdays and Saturdays. You guys are more than welcome to pop in your head there whenever you guys are around. It is being taught by certified personnel, which is myself, which I'm a SSFMA instructor. My lieutenant, which is a TCFP certified, and my captain, which is TCFP certified, also a Reeves firefighter. So we're moving forward. I mean, nothing from the training part. We're still going to keep on training, but obviously we're going to focus on that certification. And that's pretty much where we're at, and that's our solution to all this. So, as you guys know, we just finally Firefighter 2 finished. I had 2 young gentlemen that passed it, which I'm so grateful for, which was Mr. Rafa Muro and Jose Ramirez. So all they're doing is they're pending their skills, which I don't think they're gonna have an issue with that.
How many people do you have on your roster?
So right now I have a total of 23, sir.
How many of them are certified?
So I have, with fire certs, it's gonna be a total of 3, which is us 3 here. And then the 2 that are pending, which is Rafa and Jose Ramirez. Medically certified, I have 6.
Have 6.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I was going through the SOGs. I mentioned it to the chief earlier. Yeah, it says, we issue out bunker gear to the certified personnel, or if they're training for it. So what we're doing right now, we're not following that particular rule. I mean, we've had your staff with bunker gear making calls, but no certifications. Like I said, 3 years, and that's why we're here. Have you talked to them?
We did. We actually, the day after we met, that Friday, we had our general meeting, and it was addressed. So they are aware of this, and I did tell them that we need to start picking up on the class itself and the certifications. It's up to them at this point, as far as to them studying and putting the time to get certified.
Yes, the PPE, yes, the PPE, that's, I mean, that's what I read.
Mhm.
I'm making sure I didn't misunderstand that. The training that you guys give valuable, especially particularly if you guys are certified. Um, and you guys have been recording it. Um, that is valuable. That is valuable for their safety and you guys protect each other. And then after your safety, it's the safety of the citizens. Um,
As far as, and it's not to interrupt, sir, but as far as like the bunker gear, I know it's, and I guess I know it's been I guess, an issue with the SOGs, but I think that it's very valuable for our guys to have gear. And the only reason I say that is because sometimes we do go to accidents, and just the normal jeans are wearing, or not jeans, but like pants are wearing or shirt that are wearing, does pose a big threat. As far as, especially when you have like glass, and stuff like that. Because sometimes, let's say for example, we have an NBA with injuries and somebody needs to get in there. And usually to hold C-spine, the person that is in there is the skinniest guy, and I think that it's gonna be a big liability. We put somebody in there with no bunker gear at all. Something can crack, fall on their head, glass on their face, and at that point, I think it's a liability for us.
no, we have to, I mean, you have to make those accidents with bunker gear. There's no question about it. Visibility, the protection itself. I was just making a point, that's what I read and kind of goes against what we've been asking you, well, what you guys have been doing, what we've been asking you to do. So I'm just gonna go over these points and then we can discuss it if that's all right. The other one was, the calls, your staff, you guys, especially if you guys have take-home units, we need to see some more numbers. It doesn't even matter mentioning how many calls we saw. You were injured, you've always been on top, but they should be with you. And that's part of, like I said, you gotta be the bad guy. You gotta uh, give them your expectations and have them follow through. Um, and I mentioned briefly also the staff. I know you got them and you guys jumped in. He needed officers and you guys jumped in. Like I said, really appreciate that, man. And I hope you guys can stay there. You guys are starting now with your reimbursement program,
Correct, sir?
finally.
Finally, yes, sir.
Yeah, and it's nothing to make you guys rich. It's what we'll call it a reimbursement. That's the best thing to call it, but it's something, man, to call people in, have some people join. It's all free training. It's all free certs, man. Okay, having said all this and my own concerns, now we need to know what we want to do. Um, my thing was we could give them till November. Chief, when do these classes start and when do they end?
Sorry, Commissioners. I'm thinking of what he just said. So today was the actual open test day for everybody that was going to be in the next class. Because the next class is going to start prior to the next open test day.
Mm-hmm.
It's the second Tuesday of every month.
Right.
That means that after they fail their first test, now it's up to the individual to make sure that they schedule themselves through their department and make sure it happens. The first week of July, believe it's the 4th of July week or the Monday after it, is going to be the start of the class. And that's what I'm shooting for right now. I don't know that the people that are going to try to test are all going to make it. They should have tested today so that we can get all our documentation ready to go for the
Okay.
next class.
And how long are these classes?
13 weeks. That's including firefighter 1 and 2.
So it's 3 months, right? Medical?
So that's what we're focusing on right now. One of the biggest things that I have brought up that meeting, I do want to give my opportunity to my guys to become ECAs, at the minimum. But obviously, I guess the firefighter class is taking precedence over that. I know some of the guys are eager to get their ECAs because they want to run medical calls. But obviously, right now we're focused on the firefighter side.
'Cause those are pretty quick, aren't they?
Absolutely, sir.
The ACA classes are,
Yes, sir.
Like 40 hours?
40 hours,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Oh.
Sir. So, and at the same time, that's one of the things that one of my guys said, hey, chief, like, what if we take a break from the fire side and go to the medical side? But I have brought that up that day and, you know, it's still pending to be discussed as far as if we can do that while we're
Mhm.
taking a class. So,
Yes, sir.
Commissioners, if I may, one of the things that we have to pay attention to is I'm about to attend the State Farmers and Fire Marshals Association uh, training consortium where I sit in one of the boards. And one of the things that's about to happen is that SFFMA will now be recognized as Texas Commission on Fire Protection as a one-to-one. In other words, the individuals that hold the certification will no longer have to test. However, one of the things that's being thrown out there is that if that happens, are they going to mandate that everybody in SFFMA have the same level of standard, ECA and above, to be TCFP? So that's where I'm kind of like been pushing and pushing and pushing because the moment you have it now, they cannot take it away.
So
But if the
only
rules
TCFP
changes,
you need medical
you
certification,
need a medical
but
certificate.
not with SFFM.
Not currently. Is that something that might be considered? Maybe. It's being thrown out there to discuss. So can the policy change for them? Sure. But if it changes, then that's gonna put them in another pickle because they won't be able to get certified even after they complete the course, unless they get both fire and medical.
if I may, I know that when I got my TCFP certification, I did a lot of research. And that was the reason, and one of the things that came up is that as a volunteer service department, you can hold an ECA to be TCFP certified, and I don't know if it's
No.
gonna change. So,
No, all you need is an ECA.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
That's all you need, but not for SFFMA.
oh, I
That's
guess,
what I'm saying right now. Right now, the next class should be good, but after that, depends on what the rule changes might be or might not be. Are they not gonna be able to accomplish it?
I mean, I just think that I mean, I guess take a bite of the cookie at a time, and I guess the first thing is getting certified, and then I guess we can just worry about if we need to get them certified at the DMT level, then at that point, I guess we can just worry about that. Because I think if we just throw too much at these guys having a personal life and the volunteer service, I think it's gonna be too hard for them, and at that point, I think we're just gonna burn them out. So I just think that we should, if allowed, worry about the SSFMA portion, fire one and fire two, and then we can worry about the medical certification afterwards, if that's possible.
Chief, if I may, commissioners, you said you were SFFMA instructor, right?
Correct, sir.
Looking at your certifications, you hold 6. One of them is not instructor.
I have my certification. That's when they did the transfer from the old system to the new system, and I can bring that certification to you.
Well, just make sure they add it to it.
Okay.
Because that's when it's gonna be, if you are signing off on training, you're gonna need that thing there to be able to prove that you were an instructor.
Correct.
Okay, so commissioners, ideas, concerns.
I have both. I'll start off with the take-home vehicles. As we've seen over the last 3 years, Clint's been the one that struggled the most with making calls, and we're being completely honest and open. Sometimes it's been, the numbers have been rough. And if we have volunteers that are working out of town, it's questions that we've asked all volunteer departments. If someone is working out of town, why is there a take-home vehicle parked at their house and not being allowed for another firefighter who is certified to be able to use that vehicle? Question number one. Question number two, if there is a take-home vehicle, and then we're looking at some of the numbers provided by Chief Esparza, I think there was 1 month where they responded to 1 call. Why do they have a take-home vehicle? If the take-home vehicle is to respond to calls, why did they only respond? And if it has to do with injury or inability, my question there would be again, why doesn't another firefighter who can, why aren't they given access to a take-home vehicle instead? And let me go through concerns, Chief, and then you can respond. You and I have met with Chief Esparza individually. I know you've met individually with other commissioners. Our fault was that we didn't document it. Commissioner Santana and Barnes are absolutely right, 100%. We didn't, and for years, whenever we've met with Chief Esparza, there's always an answer to Chief Esparza. It's always, yeah, but this. And for 3 years, we've been waiting to see a change, and we haven't had anything for 3 years. My idea, commissioners, is that if Chief is gonna stay on as chief, that we give him monthly check-ins and monthly goals to make sure that he gets to the spot where they need to be by November. I think there needs to be almost like a conservatorship where someone is working in tandem with him, making sure that he's doing the right thing, helping him hit these goals that we need him so that he can maintain his department and his officers. Because what we have seen for 3 years is that every time we've asked for something to get done, it hasn't. And I'm only going based on evidence, just empirical evidence over 3 years. That's the only thing I'm going based on. So if he is going to stay on, what I would like to suggest is that either we give this, and I think it should belong to Chief Esparza. Either Chief Esparza works hand in hand with him and Chief Cordeiro follows the plan that will be laid out by Chief Esparza, or we assign someone who will be working with him to make sure that the Clint Fire Department is hitting the goals necessary that we need them to hit, to make sure that that department's up and running again, everybody's certified, and that they're in good standing. That would be my suggestion tonight. So that way, good things are happening. They got certified, right? Finally have some aboard, finally have officers on board. That's moving in the right direction. Absolutely, those are positives that are good. But it's taken a long time. And like Commissioner Barnes said, it, our concern, just so you know here, you gentlemen from Clint Fire Department, is that you guys are going to have what happened at West Valley with that fire. And God forbid one of you gets hurt or a person dies. And one of the first questions that will be asked is how many of those firefighters were certified? And we have to say none. That's our concern for your all safety, so you have the proper training, and for the safety of our community to make sure that you guys have everything that you need in your toolbox and in your knowledge to go out and serve well. So that's my idea, commissioners. I don't know how you feel about that. And on the take homes, chief, it's your department. You've been running it for 3 years. And I've asked these questions to other chiefs too. I've asked the exact same question, not just you. I've asked other chiefs, especially Babins and Sanelli. If you have guys that are working out in Reeves or somewhere else or Fort Bliss and they're out for a certain amount of days, how come other members of your fire department can take that take-home vehicle to respond? Why is it parked in front of their house? So I'll go ahead and let you go.
So in reference to that question, sir, I do have this gentleman here. He works at Reeves. He has a take-home. He parks it at the fire station. The keys are in there. My guys have free leisure to these trucks. As long as they have a Class B certification to drive these trucks. We don't have guys that work out of town that leave their trucks at home. We do have a policy in our department that if you're gonna be out for more than 5 days, that truck has to be parked in the fire department. But other than that, I mean, I don't have nobody, with the exception of me when I got hurt, obviously I couldn't drive. And it parked outside my house. But that was the only thing that was on me, that I didn't park at the station.
And have people with take-home vehicles been responding to calls? Have call volume, has
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
got better?
So since we started the stipend program, we started the first of this month. The first week, we had a great turnout. Second week, this is the second week, as a matter of fact, they're on shift tonight. And it's just been helping us out. It's just been helping us out. So even at that yesterday, my lieutenant here, he was not on shift, but he was still running calls out of his house with his take home. So and same thing with my captain when he came from Reeves. So.
Commissioners, I don't know how you feel about the conservatorship. I don't know what else to call it other than conservatorship. I know it's not a conservatorship, but it would be something like that. I think for us to say November, it's a good thing, but unless what we have not provided to Chief Cordeiro in the past are here's what we need you, as we get there, here's what we're looking for. And I think that if we're going to give him that opportunity and if we expect certain things from him, then there needs to be, I would say, I don't know if you want to call them check-ins or goals before the ultimate goal. Are you meeting your marks? Are you falling behind? And if you're falling behind, how can we help you? And then I would say too, but that also has to be with Chief Cordeiro, be willing to work with that and say, okay, You're helping me out. You're telling me I need to do this and not argue and just say, okay, we're gonna get it done. That's, I don't know, commissioners, how you feel about that or what you think, but I think that to me that is a way to help get this department back and to make sure for lack of better words, that it's documented, the opportunity has been given for improvement. And that there's, whether it be Chief Esparza, Chief Salcedo, whoever it is that we appoint, that way we have someone else reporting, because let's say there's a conflicting report. Being able to say, well, I asked for, or I tried to provide that department with this, and this is the response I got. And I think in whatever we decide to do, there needs to be a policy that says we need to have emails, because we need to be able to read in case there is a disagreement, if we decide to go this route. And it's not just a he said, we need to be able to see a paper trail, right? If one of these things is making sure we're following, we didn't provide an opportunity. I never took notes when I met with Chief Cordero. That's my fault, right? I have to give him the benefit of the doubt there. That was on me when I met and spoke with him on the phone with Chief Esparza. But I think to correct that, maybe that's something that needs to be mandated. Any communication needs to be through email, so that if one day and hopefully we don't have to look at this ever again. Hopefully the department does well, and we just move on from here. But if never happened, right? That's what we're all hoping for, that this never happened. But in case that it does, and unfortunately we have to look at it, there's a paper trail now, and we can see what really happened.
It's got a couple things, Chief. I think what Commissioner's talking about is like benchmarks and milestones.
Yes, that would be a
Alright,
better word.
and,
Yes, sir.
I think you have a lot of passion for your crew,
Mhm.
no doubt. All right, this don't fall on your shoulders. Guess what, guys? It falls on yours too. All right, you owe him and your crew good leadership. Right, and when stuff's slipping, or if he's in a hospital bed, you know what I'm saying? Guess what? You pick up the torch and keep the fire hot. All right, especially in responses. I asked Chief a hard question the other day, and I appreciate it. Is there an opportunity a truck might roll out in the next couple days with 2 untrained personnel on it? All right, that's a hard question. It's a hard answer too. I think there's a fix to it, and it comes with training and getting you guys getting past. All right, you have 23 people in your department.
Yes, sir. We just added a total of 5, sir.
That total, okay.
Yes.
And as benchmark, we talk benchmarks and milestones, for our leadership. All right. Maybe for those young firefighters, those new candidates that come on, hey, you have this time to get certified. These are just recommendations. You have this time to get certain level of certification, I got it. You always preach and training, you say, still haven't got an invite. All right.
Sir, you're more than welcome. You want to
Alright.
show up right now? We're
Alright.
gonna go over
Yeah,
ESL, so.
I said, send me a note when you're gonna do training, what the topic is, I'll be there. I'm not here to get in your way. I'm in the back, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure other commissioners would do that also. We talked about bunker gear real quick. I don't know what's more important, not having bunker gear or not having training. One deserves the other. Don't go both ways on that. All right, if you have a young kid out there with some bunker gear on, don't know what he's doing, or don't know what she's doing, now we have a situation. That could be,
Commissioner, I have a question.
Yes,
As
sir.
far as, and I know. So as far as like the trainings that we put, because we do have the guidelines that we follow through our candidate book. So our candidate book meets certain titles, certain criteria they have to meet. Whether it be applying of bunker gear, from that to knots to having the class B. Does that carry any weight as far as having those individuals have training gear, have bunker gear? I guess because just the broad spectrum of not having gear is too broad, you know what I mean?
Okay, on that point, when it comes to training, it builds what? Builds confidence, builds competence, builds that esprit de corps. But at the end of the day, establish liability.
Correct.
All right, do we have the people properly trained, have the proper certifications to go out and respond to a situation that at the end of the day, are we gonna look at some mom and dad and say, hey, your son was properly trained, or he or she was not? All right, all the training in the world, lots of certifications, all your training you do in your firehouse is not don't give them a Fire 1 or Fire 2 certificate. Am I correct?
No,
It'll help them.
it would help.
It'll help
Yes.
or reinforce if they have Fire 1 and Fire 2, because we know training has a shelf life on it if you don't
Yes, sir.
keep feeding it. So But do you have something saying there?
No, Joe,
I'm sorry.
go ahead. What I was gonna say was, as far as bunker gear and training, if they are training, trying to get their certs, they should have bunker gear.
I agree.
And
No, I agree on that, but for them to roll out on a truck in bunker gear with no training, no certifications, that becomes a liability.
Correct.
Is that a fair statement?
Sir.
All right, correct me if I'm wrong, guys.
No, no. And just to add to that, sir, I have,
And if I'm misspeaking, let me know that.
no,
too.
no, absolutely. Just to make my reference to our training, Mr. Sanchez and Mr. Baron, they were not certified with me, but they can tell you, and I can have them come up here and speak for themselves. When they went to Reeves, am I wrong that the training that we did helped you guys pass that test? They were there, they were excellent, you know what I mean? So, I mean, but I understand what you're
I'm
saying.
not disputing your training,
Yes, sir.
all right, but I don't want your training, to think your training's gonna replace Fire One and Fire Two, or, you know, it supports it or reinforces it, correct? Is that a fair statement?
Mhm.
Or ECA, or whatever the training you're going for. I'm gonna call it a reimbursement program. I'm gonna suggest word, all right? It's a reimbursement program. I appreciate you starting it. Reimbursement program does not replace good leadership, guys. All right, those firefighters will stay with you for good leadership versus money in their pocket. Now, reimbursement program is the right word. You got people that live quite far ways that travel
Yes,
to
sir.
get there. It's good to get them reimbursed, all right?
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure those young kids that are coming in, just watching these guys take off with, as he said, station vehicles. Like, dang, they're not paying for no gas. All right? And I appreciate you leaning on that to get those guys do more responses. If I'm a young guy driving a Peel, you know, what's POS, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes, sir.
A gas guzzler trying to get in there.
Sure.
And I'm making 4 or 5 calls a month, and then the guy with the, unit truck making 1, I'm getting mad. So I appreciate you leaning on that. I think that's a big motivational thing. I'm not gonna go over the challenges, another question that, you think you've done everything you could as leaders collectively for your ESD. Because at the end of the day, we all work for the community. We got that. All right. We work for the former Mayor of Clinton. All right. We work for those out there that when need help, you guys are willing and able and trained to stand in harm's way. So at the end of the day, have you done everything you can for ESD? But the question we have to ask ourselves, have we done everything we can for you? And I agree with the benchmarks where we assign a mentor. I don't think it should be Chief Esparza. He got his plate full. He got stuff he got to do. I think there's someone out there to roll as, give you the guidance and mentorship needed collectively. I'm not putting this all on your shoulders, because why? Because you're officers too.
Mhm.
All right? You should be carrying his weight. Right? But figure out how do we get to meet these benchmarks, these milestones, to give you a successful station that responds to a fire or an accident, confident, competent, trained with equipment. You got the equipment you need. You got a good house. You got 3 of them.
Sir.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and I think they're pretty well staffed with what you need in there, correct?
Yes,
Is
sir.
that a fair statement?
Yes, sir.
All right. You know, my only recommendation to the commissioners is to prevent informed, keep everyone informed. Huge on it, but maybe assign 2 commissioners in this situation so we don't break that quorum. But somehow keep everyone informed. I don't know where that happy medium is, so we can help stay engaged. I know we're all busy. You know, I got 99 problems, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Right? And, but at the end of the day, we're not looking at it as a problem. All right? You have challenges.
Yes, sir.
All right? We have our own challenges. And one of those is making sure that you're effective, efficient. When you roll out, you're gonna save lives.
Sir.
So, you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Appreciate what you're doing. Hey, guys, appreciate
Yes.
you. You know what I'm saying? I think you got some new crew coming on board. All right? Put benchmarks and milestones off of them. Get them trained. They represent you. All right? All right, guys, thank you.
All right, I concur with what has been discussed, and I'm not gonna keep beating a dead horse, but what I wanna ask about, and maybe that can be one of the benchmarks going forward. You 2 are new officers. Have they had any officer training as far as Officer 1, Officer 2, or anything like that?
No, sir. No, sir. So I did want to enroll them in an officer class. I know me and Chief Esparza had discussed it, because I know there was one coming up in Harmon. We and him had discussed about sending them to, leadership classes.
Chief Espada, are there any online classes?
I would recommend that for them that are gonna try to do this, there is the Fire Officer Symposium that's brought on by TEEX,
Mhm.
which they cover everything that they have to do
Okay,
to make it a volunteer department work. It's the regular officer classes, they don't teach you what you're gonna have to do here.
sure.
And I think that part of the thing that I'm gonna disagree a little bit is it has to be somebody that's knowing what the department has to do to succeed. One of the things that we're running into right now, commissioners, is that as we transition into the new ESO software, is that we're looking at all the accounts that we had. I'm gonna tell you, all but one department was not using any of our software for training purposes. None of the trainings were being logged, none of the trainings were being that. So I want to make sure that if they're gonna hold trainings, those trainings need to be logged in because it's gonna be no good for these individuals. They're receiving training, but nobody's logging them in. And we
You are
have to,
holding a record though, yeah.
So we do, enter ours, or back in the day, it was emergency reporting. So my training coordinator, which is Adrian Behil, once a month, we'll get all the signing sheets and would enter them into the thing. So whenever you would print this out, it would give you the total amount of hours. And then you can break it down even to like, for example, we did ladders this day, or we did hoses this day. So it would break it down like that. But we haven't, I know we're still trying to mess with ESO. It's been an uphill battle trying to figure it out. But we're getting there. So that's moving on forward. He's gonna enter the training that's into ESO. Yes, sir.
Starting when?
Excuse me?
Starting when?
As soon as we can figure this system out, sir, because like I said, I know it's brand new. As a matter of fact, I had called them the other day because of some vehicles that were not in there. He activated them, so which is great. So there's still a little bit nicks here and there that we need to, look at it.
your training coordinator, is he a certified one?
He is certified, was certified on the old program. So I talked to Kevin Kramer, and all he has to do is submit the paper for that. So, and he'd be certified firefighter 1 and firefighter 2. So
Nice. And who is this?
this is Mr. Adrian Behil.
Vigil?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What else, chief? Oh, people. Yes.
Chief, how you doing?
I'm very blessed, sir. Thank you for asking.
I know that we don't like to be here under these circumstances and stuff like that, I mean, but, we've had this coming for quite a while. I know that yourself and we had various conversations, and not only by myself, I mean, Donna had been there, President Santana, Chief Esparza, and I kept asking you, our conversation was board members, your board, having your board. Can you help me, can you explain to me what has been, why wasn't it met? Why has it taken this long?
So it's like I had told you guys that one time, the expectations that were given to my officers were not there yet. Obviously, since we had that conversation, they got assigned their task, and we had a big discussion as far as to what I needed from them. And they understand that and they agreed to comply by it. And that was the biggest things. And, I'm not here to bash on my numbers. But they were kind of low. And that was the whole reason that why a board had not been assigned.
One of the biggest things that how you correct problems, if it's not working with those people that you have around you at that point in time, you have to go ahead and let them go and have other people come in. I don't know how you're marketing for new members and stuff like that. I don't know what you're doing to bring up your numbers on your volunteer side,
So
on
for
your membership.
So for that, sir, I don't know if you guys follow the Clean Fire Department page. We're very active with the community. One of the things that we've been doing since probably November of last year, the guys wanted posters and stuff, so I went and hired and made them. And they set up at the Exxon right here at the Clinton exit, or not the Clinton exit, at the Texas 20 and FM 1110. They set up there for about, what about like 2 hours, 2.5 hours? And they're just talking to people, making them try to join. And out of that, believe it or not, we got in 4 members. You know, they just walked up, what do you guys do? You know, we have a big old poster that says, this is what you can get out of it. And, you know, they've been hooked, and, you know, so that's the one way that we doing it. We have attended a couple career days at the high school. I don't know if you guys are familiar, like with you know how the military does it, where they go, it's not like a career day, I guess it's like a display show. So we've done that too at the Clinton High School, where they go and they talk to the high school senior guys that are graduating. And out of that, I got 2 more members. So, that's how we're doing recruiting, and we're just keep posting it on Facebook, our social media, make sure that it gets out there.
How long do you give them when they join, chief, to go ahead and get some of their certs in place?
So the way that our candidacy program works is they have 6 months to complete their binder, right? So the binder has, like I described, your Class B, they have the ropes, they have their fire hydrants, the whole works there. So they have to get signed off on that. After that, I've done it where they're in between the 6 months program and a class pops out, and I sign them up to the class. So my thing is, if I can get them in a class, I'm gonna get them on the class, just so we can get that ball rolling. Because I don't want to have to wait till the end, and then now the class have to wait another 3 months, and then another 3 months for fire tower 2 to end, and then begin that. And I think that's too long. So, but usually as soon as a class opens, and if they're within with us for about 3 months, they'll jump on it.
Okay, so let me ask you a personal question.
Yes.
As a fire chief, do you feel that you've corrected the situation? Do you feel that you've got it down packed now, or and
You
with
know-
your board members? I mean, how good do you feel about it?
I feel good, sir.
On
You
a
know,
scale of 1 to 10?
I'm probably a solid 9, sir. And the only reason I say that is because my board members, we had like a one-on-one situation, and I tell them, this is what I need, and if it's not met, and they can tell you, if it's not met, then I'm not gonna decide if you guys stay or leave. The members are. Because at the end of the day, you know, they make me, and if I'm failing them, and that's what I told them. So, I mean, moving forward, I mean, they can tell you, we sat there for what, 2.5 hours talking about expectations. I mean, and then, you know, it's either make it or we break it. Simple as that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, and then I told them, are you in it? And they said yes. So that's where we're at. So that's it.
But you do feel confident?
I do, sir. You have to be confident, sir. You can't be afraid of failing.
Chief, I mean, you want to make sure you surround yourself with good people,
Correct?
and that people that are not going to let you fail.
Okay.
So you surround yourself with leaders, and you need to make sure that you have chosen some good leaders for the Clinton Fire Department, in case something were to happen to you, Miguel Mande Dios, right?
God forbid, not my
But
way.
knock on wood, sir. But, you know, if when you retire, well, what do you feel confident that one of you guys could step up?
Absolutely, sir. Yes, sir, because I'm giving them everything that I have in my belt that was given to me. I'm passing on to them.
And that's one of the biggest things, Chief. You cannot hold the knowledge for yourself. You need to make sure that you share the knowledge and you educate these young men and make sure that they are successful. If you don't give them the opportunity, sir, what's going to happen is the whole thing is going to fail. You cannot do anything by yourself. There is no I in team.
Correct, sir.
There is a TEAM. That is a team. All right? There's no I in it. And that is one of my biggest things. That is one of my biggest concerns, that you work with them and all of you work together. How many of your members are certified or signed off at this point in time to operate and drive a fire truck out of the 23?
Out of the 23, sir, out of the top of my head, I probably have about 8 members.
8 members?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How many of those 8 members show up to your fire, sir?
Maybe on a good day, 5. On a good day. On a minimum, like 2.
If you're at work, how many of them are gonna show up?
For a fact, 2, sir. Yes, sir.
That too,
Yes, sir.
okay? But they don't have all the certs, correct?
No, they don't, sir. No, I don't.
Okay. See, at that point in time, I mean, that to me is kind of like a red flag, man, you
Yeah,
know,
absolutely.
to the point to where if they don't have all their certs in place, I mean, what if something happens?
Right. Right.
Remember, you are representing the ESD. The
I do understand where you're coming from, and I do understand that it's a big liability.
It is a big
Yes, sir.
liability, chief. It is a big liability. And I'm glad that you recognize that, because that's one of the biggest things. Liability is, number one. Number one, not just for the district, but especially for these young men and women that are serving in the fire department. That's what you gotta really think about, and their families,
Yeah.
not just yourself and, and meeting numbers. We need to make sure that we have the right personnel, the right people, and that you've surrounded yourself with the good people, and that you're gonna give them training and not hold them back.
Absolutely, sir.
Um, as far as on that, benchmarks and stuff that was discussed, I think that the first quarter, there should be either a weekly or bi-weekly report by yourself and your mentor given to, submit it, and a small report given to us as well, just to know that you're hitting benchmarks and that anything that we've given to you, that it's getting taken care of, and that you're learning from it. At that point in time, as you are hitting these benchmarks, you're gonna get signed off, and you're gonna sign off next to it as well. And it'll show that you are responsible and you're taking responsibility from then on at that point. But I think that first quarter, there should be bi-weekly reports. After that, then it can be discussed to whatever the mentor says, either it can be monthly, and then after that, it should be like, it's almost gonna be like a 1-year probation,
Correct.
chief. And I hate to do that to you. I mean, but I don't know. I don't know what else to do.
I mean,
I don't know what else to do. I mean,
I agree with all you guys say. You know, if you guys want to put benchmarks on me, I have no issue with that. If you guys want them by weekly, I stand behind my department, and I think my department can strive to meet those benchmarks at any given point.
and don't be afraid to let these guys, the men, step up for you and do the reports and show them how to do the reports, chief. I mean, if we do this for you and we accept this and we decide that we're gonna do this together, I mean, if you fail, we fail as well.
Correct.
All of us fail, and especially your fire department, sir. That's not what we want. That's not what we want. We want to make sure that we prepare you and that we groom you and groom them to where it's gonna run perfect. It's gonna run good. As far as having somebody in place as a mentor, I think for us to be able to get the reports, gentlemen, commissioners, I think that we should have either, and I know that it's a lot to ask, but either have Chief Esparza or Chief Saucedo or both of them as a mentor. So that way, when the reports get done, they get submitted, and we can look at those reports and make sure that it is being met, and have them tell us that, hey, we're good. He's doing good. He's showing progress. He's, get a report card. I think that's very important. If we were to put somebody else to be in that place, I mean, I don't think that it would be in our benefit. I think it has to be somebody here from the district. And, in closing, chief, and you guys too, everybody's main goal here, including us as a district, our main goal is to protect and serve our communities, our constituents. But at the same time, we have to protect each other, and we have to be trained in the best way possible to where none of you guys, especially none of you guys, get hurt or that one of us has to go into your house, knock on the door, and say, an accident happened. That's not what you wanna do. So, that being said, I mean, that's how I feel about it, guys. I mean, if anybody wants to reiterate or object to anything I said, go ahead and step up, guys.
Okay, so I like the ideas and I hope we can work it together, for the mentorship, we'll call it a mentorship, it could either be Chief Esparza, Chief Salcedo, or somebody that they assign. Myself. And we can get together this week or next week and we figure out what we're gonna do. Some of the things that we're gonna be keeping an eye on, be training for your officers, leadership training. I know you guys work out of town and, hey, we can figure something out, but leadership training is important. It really is. Training for your members, of course. Keep an eye on, how they're doing, how they're progressing in their, whether it's firefighter 1 or firefighter 2 on their testing. We also need to see that you're gonna have your board members now, for the department, for the membership. Monthly, bi-weekly. That'll be part of when we get together this week or next week, we'll figure out what we're gonna do and we'll let you know immediately what we wanna do. Like the paper trail idea, everything's gonna be by email. We're gonna be notified. There's not gonna be any he said or she said.
Yeah.
What's that?
I put something on your screens, sorry.
Commissioner Santana, and if I could add, emails from leadership as well, from officers and captains.
Absolutely.
From
Thank
them
you.
as well,
Thank
because we
you.
want them to
Mine's
be
on there.
trained
There's
as well,
nothing
so
there.
them as well, please. Thank you,
I
gentlemen.
was gonna
Absolutely.
mention to
We
that
need to
too.
hear from you guys.
Okay.
Can they be included on that thread? I would love for them to. be
Yes,
included.
Yes,
they should.
absolutely.
They should.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
Definitely. What is it? Oh, the leadership class?
It's actually free, commissioners, to all,
And it's-
emergency response personnel in Texas.
January 20th, this, through the 22nd. It's, just a couple days.
2025.
It's,
Yes, sir.
Next year?
Next year.
Oh, okay. I was like,
you guys, I mean, yeah, a week class, I know that's really hard on you guys, but it's something easier, it's something for you guys to think about. Maybe the chief can send you that link. It's from Teeks. So that's the stuff that we're gonna be looking at. And yes, thank you, Commissioner Avalos. We need to hear from you guys also. If there's any concerns what we're doing, maybe we're overstepping our bounds, which we'll make sure we don't, but, maybe there's something that you guys want to introduce that you guys are learning in your departments as well. That's what we were talking about, Chief Cordero and I, that he said, well, I want to mold them. And I respect that thought. I told him, you know what, they're already experienced firefighters. They need minimal molding. Leadership classes, that's, the exception. But there's going to be other things that you guys need to learn, especially because you are the heads of this department. So I propose, well, let's putting all this together. This week or next week, we can figure out the game plan. What our expectations are. How often we're gonna expect a report from you guys, and that maybe the first couple of months bi-weekly. We'll extend it afterwards, how everything's going. And perhaps on the next meeting, we can agree on what we come up with. I mean, we have to make it official. We'll come out with a list with the whole game plan, and we're gonna present it to you guys. We're gonna present it before the board will approve it. I guess till then, when is our next meeting, Chief?
Tuesday, sir.
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Hey, you can stand up. Go stand next to you, chief.
Next Tuesday is perfect, so we can get it done this week or,
Yeah.
Commissioner, just your advice, I'll be going out of town starting tomorrow.
Well, that's why you
you
have.
got your
you have-
officers.
yeah.
They can come in my presence.
Look to your left.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, hey, you guys got a little experience on your, I don't know, how old are you? All right. Tell me two things you need to improve on, but more importantly, tell me two things you do well.
Two things I do well.
Not you, your department. I don't care about you.
Okay, two things we do well in the department is,
Two things you need to improve on.
okay, two
Know
things.
your challenges, not your chief. We got that. Chief's been a puncher bag for the last hour. Got it? That's part of being a chief.
Yeah.
All right, you got it.
Two things is, first, improving call volume. And
There you go.
the second one is getting you guys to the site and get them certified.
Fair enough.
Two things are fine.
Tell me two things you're doing well.
Two things we do well is I just know that the guys know how to work on the string and they know how to work the truck and they know the stuff on top of bottom, top of it.
All right, good deal.
It's really good.
I know, you took your stuff. I got it. We'll come up with something different.
But he said.
Participation, we need more members with non-first trainings and respond, when they're getting out on training.
Hold that thought. Just, can we have a fire tech program?
We don't.
Or is the school?
Mountain View.
Yeah, we're working with Mountain View right now
Mountain View.
to build a collaboration with their EMT program.
Mountain View, Socorro, and then Valle.
Okay,
All have-
good, I'm sorry.
Uh,
One more improvement. Tell me two things you're doing well,
one thing that. Have trainings twice. a week, and
Okay.
we're teaching them as much.
though. You say that, how many are showing up out of 23? Okay, not enough. Keep going.
In our chain of command, taking a load of sheet that need to be.
Okay.
So-
Good. What do you bring to the table?
I bring a lot of knowledge, fire knowledge, a little bit about my background now. Also have my RF, my hazmat technician, and my driver operator.
Okay,
So I believe that getting those officer courses is gonna open doors for me to give everybody my full potential, you know. We're doing it now, but like you said, we want people trailing.
You guys, it's gonna be a hard road that we're gonna travel, all of us. I mean, this is the first time that we're all stepping in on this. It's a big step to it. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I mean, and I know it's the board, and we had this discussion, guys. I mean, you're ready to, you know, get rid of Willie. He's ill. But you know what? If he's willing to put his time and his efforts, and you guys are really destined to put in all your time and effort. And I mean, we can't be making excuses anymore of saying, oh, well, the guys have their family stuff. You have to understand that we're volunteering. Yes, family comes first, but if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. I mean, military burn. What's the word though? You in it? You're up.
yeah, you know, it's true. And I have a lot of appreciation for volunteer chiefs. They ask a lot of you. Guess what? You're doing it for free. You know what I'm saying? That's hard to stay away from you know. And if you're that guy that, hey, I need more time with my family, you got a lot of social programs out there. They can go home, sit home. All right. It takes a special breed to do what you guys do. And I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? And it's you two are, he's gonna give you the guidance. Chief's gonna give you the guidance. You two are gonna make this work. You come down to train, I'm coming to your training. All right.
Very well.
All right, I'm sweating just thinking about it, all right? All right, and guess what? I want to see more than 6 people. That's your job, to get those people at training. All right?
Chief, I would say as we move forward and we decide by next Tuesday what you and your team's gonna do. I will say this, just based on interaction that you and Roger have with each other, and this is not towards you gentlemen
You can sit down.
today have been respectful. You and Chief Esparza, Chief, I don't know what type of relationship you guys have, si así se llevan o cómo es, but some of the back and forth, especially to young people who are watching, there's lack of respect. That needs to be worked on. I think if you have something to say to Chief Esparza, hold it, wait till the room is empty, then have that conversation with him. And you're not the only one. I've had this conversation with other chiefs. It's a matter of chain of command, especially in your field, your PD, your fire. you guys have to depend on chain of command. That's what we've had this whole discussion is respecting officers and what their decisions are. So Chief, and the same would go to Chief Esparza. I don't know how, and I don't know if he's disrespectful towards you, Chief. I don't know. It could be that way too. But I would just say, especially with young, new officers, you finally have a board, you finally have officers. These two young men seem like they're ready to go, which is great. I'm very excited to see them here. But if they see that relationship with you and him, they see you doing that, that's gonna, te yo también ponen and
Yeah.
that, I don't know, commissioners, I don't know if you feel the same way, but I feel like
that, yes.
there needs to be, if you disagree, Chief, you have every right to disagree. I would just ask behind closed doors. And if it's something big, put it in email so that it's recorded. So that we know if we need to address it one day, we're fully aware of what we need to address. Go ahead, Chief.
Sorry, Commissioners, to interrupt. One of the things that we have to look at first, and I asked about Mr. Adrian Vigil, which is your training coordinator, right? So I'm looking at his certifications and he only holds right now hazmat awareness and operations, and he holds that twice. So if what you're saying correct, that he just has to submit his paperwork, why hasn't it been done so?
The reason that it hadn't been done so is because so let me explain to you guys something. So SSFMA, and I don't know if you guys are aware, SSFMA went through a transition course, right? So before SSFMA was, you got your basic, your intermediate, your advanced, and your masters. That was a whole course of it. About maybe 2.5 years ago, they revamped the system and they moved everything to this new system. So now you have Firefighter 1 and Firefighter 2, right? So whenever they revamped the system, because even if you look at mine doesn't even say that I'm certified on there. If you look at mine, everything that I had never got transferred over. So it's a process of doing that. You have to call Kramer. Kramer has to extract the archives, make sure that it is valid, and then he has to submit it to this new system. The only bad thing about that is that this new system has different little bulletins that, since it's a new curriculum, have to be met prior to them giving that certification. And that's why it hasn't been done. And we just found out this because he had asked me, because he checked in, he was like, hey, Chief, it doesn't show that my stuff is in. And as a matter of fact, I called Kramer this last week on Thursday, I want to say. I left him a voicemail, he called me back, and that's when he told me, just send me this, Chief. He goes, and we'll put it in the system. And he even told me about my certification, so we can show that you're already certified. That's why I hasn't been.
So the fair to say not everything's transferable from the old system or?
That is correct. So a lot of people that waited to complete some of the courses are now, those courses are obsolete because it's not part of the new curriculum. However, Chief Cordero, I'm not worried about you because I know you have Texas Commission on Fire Protection, which beats this section right here. But I'm going to tell you right now that looking at this right now, Mr. Adrian Vigil, if he does not hold this, he should not be your training coordinator. It should be one of the men right behind you
Right.
until he gets his training, all his training.
Okay,
And like I said, I have you, and I'm not singling you out because I'm gonna show you guys something. There's Mr. Cordero, and he is absolutely right. But just so to be transparent with all of you, there's mine. So he is absolutely right. There is everything that you can think of, but there is that many more. So we want all our guys to have all those certifications. We want to push everything out to them. It's just going to be a matter of how and who's going to push these guys to do it. Now, again, all I'm going to recommend right now is that the individual that's Mr. Vigil should not be the training coordinator as he does not have those certifications to be the training coordinator.
Chief, could one of these individuals here, these young men, could they step in and fill that role?
absolutely, yeah.
Is that something you can have a discussion with one of those gentlemen right there?
Yeah, so what we do, and this is, when I talk to my officers, we work in hand in hand with a training coordinator. Obviously, you know, they know what he does. He knows what we do, because we sit once a month and we discuss the trainings for that month. So, I mean, I don't see no issue why they couldn't step up to that plate, you know, until we fix Mr. Vigil.
If it's a matter of just submitting paperwork, that should have been done back when he got his first certification, which is 2020, 4 years ago. And that's one of the things that we are going to have to look at as a district. We have people with certifications like driver, operator, pumper, but no firefighter certification. That should not be happening. It should be firefighter basic, which is firefighter 1 and 2, then driver, operator, pumper, because why would you want the one without the other?
Yeah, well, that's what we're trying
Yeah.
to work on right now. So, how about just make a motion and we're gonna get together this week and come up with a game plan. We're gonna figure out what we're gonna do and, we're gonna pass it by the board in the agenda next week. Hopefully one of your officers can be here. So they can see firsthand and that's about it.
Yep.
Is that?
That works. Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, what are your days off for this week? Are you off tomorrow?
No.
So next Sunday, Monday and Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
How about the other one? So in order to not hold you all back, could you meet tomorrow? Which one,
So,
Commissioner?
because he works graveyard, so he can be here in the morning. Um,
Oh, wow.
Thanks.
so so they want the workload, come on. Yeah, so,
You want to get together tomorrow? Is it okay?
I think tomorrow is the easiest, let's
At what
not
time?
Now, is that for the board or for them too?
say that.
You're talking about for the board, right, to get together or no?
Well, no, it's just, to figure out what we're gonna ask of them, and what we're gonna oversee. So for sure, Chief Salsa, if you can, just have more mind. And just because of your experience, you think you could come tomorrow? Be good.
I would say, to make it easier, if you're gonna come right after work, 8 AM.
after your shift.
Want to freshen up?
Mr. Santana's on us.
No, yeah, what's a good time for you? Yeah, get it done and, all
That gives you
right,
time to safely get here?
And both officer, you want both of these gentlemen here too?
if
Oh.
they both can, sure.
You want to
But
come
at
tomorrow?
least one of you.
No, sir, I'm actually flying out at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Are you going on vacation?
Yes, sir.
Good, good. Enjoy. I know PD, you guys work hard, man, and what you do, so enjoy your
Last week,
vacation,
I
man.
just came out of a 10-day work schedule, so I haven't had a day off in 10
Okay,
days.
no, well, you enjoy yourself. And look, the good thing is, man, now you're in good hands. You've
Yes,
got
sir.
good officers behind you who are here, you're here to help, okay? So that's
Right.
good. Enjoy.
So does this require a motion, chief?
It requires a motion for you to postpone this item till next week.
Excellent. Motion to postpone this item till next week.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Santana, second by Commissioner Avalos to postpone this item till next week. Commissioner Diaz,
Aye.
Commissioner Santana,
Aye.
Commissioner Barnes,
Aye.
Commissioner Avalos,
Aye.
Commissioner Glidden.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 6, discuss and take action on the Clinton Fire Department contract. Commissioners, this was a second item just in case you all couldn't agree on one.
Mhm.
Would you like a motion to delete?
To delete, motion to delete.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Santana, second by Commissioner Diaz. Commissioner Diaz,
Aye.
Commissioner Santana,
Aye.
Commissioner Barnes,
Aye.
Commissioner Avalos,
Aye.
Commissioner Glidden.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 7, discuss and approve the next meeting to take place on Tuesday, June 18th, 2024 at 6 PM.
Motion.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Diaz, second by Commissioner Glidden. Commissioner Diaz,
Aye.
Commissioner Santana,
Aye.
Commissioner Barnes,
Aye.
Commissioner Avalos, Commissioner Glidden.
Aye.
Motion carries. Adjournment at 6:08 PM.
Right.
Yeah, no problem.